What's going on, guys? Contest time once again. I'm here to announce the next big contest that's going to be done in collaboration with myself, obviously, and here at USA Gundam Store. As voted on by you guys, at least all of you who voted on the poll that I posted on the community tab here on YouTube, it is going to be UC versus AU. That's Universal Century versus Alternate Universe. And what I mean by that is that I want you guys to take a Gundam or a mobile suit from one side and make it look like it's from the other side. So taking like a mobile suit from Universal Century and making it look like it's from an alternate universe, or vice versa. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, what is going to be sort of the theme, what we're looking for this contest. Also, we're going to be talking about what are the rules for what you can make, what you're allowed to make, and what you're allowed to use for this contest. I'll get into the procedures for how to enter in the contest, and then I'll also talk about the prizes. There'll be a time code on the video down below if you want to skip ahead, or if you need to refer back to this video at any other point. But for any of you guys who have entered in any of my contests that I've run before, you should have a pretty good idea about what to expect as far as kind of the procedure for entry and everything like that. So let's get into it, just starting with the theme. So as I said, it's UC versus AU. And so what we want you guys to do is to focus on a mobile suit and just make it look like it's from the alternate universe. So you could take a RX-78-2 Gundam and make it look like it's from Iron Blood Orphans, or take a Barbatos and make it look like it's from Gundam Unicorn, or just kind of UC in general. But the UC does have a little bit of kind of change in the theme as you go, like from like 1 Year War to like the 90s, like Unicorn era to like narrative, and then like later you see like F91 or something like that. But so as always, one of the main things we're going to be looking for is just your guys' creativity. Now, if you were to take an RX-78-2 and just strap a GN drive onto the back of it, yeah, it's kind of making it look like it's from Gundam 00, sure, but that's kind of pretty easy. Or if you were to take like a Unicorn Gundam and just paint it to make it look like it's going like Trans Am or something like that to make it look like it's from 00, also kind of easy. So I mean, I want you guys to be creative with kind of how you're translating the look and the feel of either one universe or the other onto, you know, a different universe. So just keep in mind, there's going to be probably a lot of very obvious ideas that probably a lot of people are going to be using. If you want to stand out and do well in the contest, the more creative and unique your idea is, you know, the more it's going to stand out. Also, of course, what is always of great importance is your execution as well. So it's not only important to have a really good idea, but then you also need to execute that idea effectively and make it look good, right? You need to use all of your modeling skills and techniques as well as creativity in order to create something that is going to be, you know, one of the winners for this contest. So next up, let's talk a little bit about some of the rules, what you can do, what you can use for this contest. And if there's anything that's unclear, if you guys have any other further questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me for clarification. Happy to help you guys, and that's always better than just you guys to just assume that you can do something and then it turns out maybe that you can't. So reach out if you have questions. So basically, I want it to be pretty wide open, and I'll come back to mention the deadline again later on, but the deadline is going to be December 13th, which from today gives you guys 8 weeks, which is a relatively short kind of time span for this. And the reason for that is that I really want you guys to keep the amount of time that you have in mind, and, you know, try to keep your build and your project relatively focused, you know, again, keeping in mind that you have, you know, somewhat of a shorter length of time than, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. So don't bite off more than you can chew. That said, here's some of the things that you can and can't do. You can make a diorama. You can use 3D printed parts. You can use photo etch parts. You can use option parts. You can use non-Bandai parts. You cannot use anything that's like a bootleg model kit, and it should be something that's a Gundam model. So you can't like take Zoids kit and then make it look like it's from Gundam 00, something like that. So it does have to be something in the Gundam realm, but your project should be focused on one main subject. So you shouldn't have like 2 main kits having like an RX-78-2 and a Barbatos like fighting each other. So if you're going to make a diorama, the focus should still be on one main mobile suit. Now, if you wanted to have like a one mobile suit, like, and then like another kind of like destroyed half of a kit, something like that, kind of built into the diorama, that's fine. Or if you want to use like whatever other option parts or 3D printed parts or whatever for like buildings or people or cars or whatever else you want to use in your diorama is fine, but the subject should just be one model. That said, of course, you don't have to make any diorama at all, and you can just focus on just the main kit and just have it on a base or no base, however you might want to display it, but do keep in mind that displaying your kit is very important. So of course we will also be looking, like part of the judging will be taking a look at just the presentation of the kit. And so aside from photography and all that, which we'll talk more about later, what you do need to keep in mind is just the presentation of it, just how it's displayed, the pose, the base, whether it necessarily has a base or not, it just still needs to be presented nicely. And also keep in mind that what you use to display the kit, if it is going to be some sort of stand or base or, diorama or vignette, it could also help in, portraying the scene. Like, for example, if you took like a Gundam from 8th MS team, which we typically think of as like kind of a ground type unit, and then you have it displayed so that it looks like it's like flying in space and made to look like it's from, again, 00, I feel like I'm just using as a very easy example, but Gundam Seed or something like that, making it look like it's flying in space, obviously that's going to make it look kind of a little bit different from what we normally think of that being a ground type universal sentry unit, to making it look like it's from some other different universe and now it's operating in space, something like that. So keep in mind the display is something that you most certainly can use to your advantage to help sell the theme that you're going for with, how you're doing your crossover. Now, as for the photography, I have done a lot of different content on this in the past, just talking about how your kits should be displayed and photographed for contests, so I won't really spend too much time on it in this video. But again, keep in mind that your photos should be, of decent quality, they should be decently lit. Don't take a bunch of like cinematic shots and things like that, which would be great for your social media platforms that you're using. But for the contest, the really, really important thing is that the judges, are able to see the work clearly, and so that we're able to, judge your kit fairly. If it's like this really dark, cinematic photograph with some really dramatic lighting and everything, that looks cool, but, as for judging, if we can't see it, we can't judge it. So do keep that in mind. That's why lighting, photo clarity, all this is important, as well as just a variety of photos, whether it be close-ups or full shots and things like that. Also keep in mind, if you're doing like full shots, the framing of your photo, you don't want your kit to be like over here and then you have like a bunch of empty space like over here. So just some of these things to keep in mind. Now the procedure for entry is going to be as follows. Again, pretty normal if you guys have ever entered into a contest before. So the first thing that you need to do is, once you've selected the kit, which is going to be your main kit, you need to send an email to ZakuAureliusOfficial@gmail.com and put in the title UC versus AU. And within the email itself, you need to include a photograph of the kit that you're planning on using. And then on a handwritten note, whether it be on the inside of the box or on a little piece of paper next to it, I need to see the actual kit. So don't just show the outside of the box, because then I don't know what's actually in the box or not. I need to see the actual contents of the box, actual plastic of the kit that you're planning on using. Take a look at some of the examples on the screen. And then on the handwritten note, I just need your name, your country, and the date. So just make sure that that's written somewhere on there, so that I can just verify that this is a new project that you're starting specifically for this contest. That's the reason why we need to see that. Now, I understand probably a lot of kit bashing is going to be going on with this project, just based on the theme of it. So if you guys are going to be using more than one kit, basically what I need to see is just like the one main kit. You don't have to include everything that you're going to use in the photograph. I just need to see the main kit. And on the topic of kit bashing and how much you're using one kit or another, if it comes to the point that you're ending up using like half of your original kit and then half of a completely other different kit, or parts from different kits, and there's really like very little of your original kit still left in the finished result, that's fine. But just keep in mind that what we're going to be looking for is a mobile suit from one universe, portrayed as though it's looking like it's from a different universe. If you're making a completely original mobile suit that's like half the ground Gundam and like 30% Barbatos parts and then 20% Exia parts, it's really kind of a completely original design at that point, and then it doesn't really fit with the theme. So it does need to be, recognizable as kind of your kit that you're starting off with, but in a creative way, made to look like it's from a different universe. So just something to keep in mind there. That's what we're looking for. If you're making something that's completely new, an original design that's completely unrecognizable from what you started off with, then it does kind of defeat the purpose a little bit. So anyway, once you've sent that entry email in, I will reply to you guys. And if I don't reply like that day or the next day, you don't have to wait for a reply to start, working. If I don't reply for a few days, You know, that can very well happen. I'm just kind of busy. I don't check and reply every day, but you know, every few days I'll check and reply to your guys' emails. But yeah, you don't need to wait for a reply to start working. So once you've sent that, you can feel free to start working on your projects. And then, as I said, the deadline will be December 13th, giving you guys 8 weeks to work, assuming you start working from the first day. Now, what you need to do for your final submission, once everything is all done, is you're going to reply again to that same email so that everything's kept within the same email chain. That just makes everything so much easier for me, so much more organized. Reply again in that same email chain with your 10 finished photographs of your kits. And I don't need any work in progress photos, and I just don't need to see any work in progress photos. If you do feel so inclined to send work in progress photos, send them separately or send them, you know, more than the 10 photos. But your 10 finished photos that you send in once you're all done should be just of the finished kit. And like I said, they should be a mix of full shots, you know, front, back, left side, right side, and there should also be some details in there as well. So if there's like particular points that you're really proud of, where the details look really good, or points that you want to emphasize to the judges, you know, take some close-up shots as well. And again, keep in mind your lighting, focus as well, photo clarity, and everything like that. After your completed entry is submitted, I will again reply to respond to you to just let you know, okay, I got it, you're in. And then roughly probably about a week or so after the deadline ends, we will announce the winners. So by that timeline, it'll be like kind of almost about Christmas time. So it'd be a nice Christmas present for the 3 people who do end up winning. So that's a good transition for us to move on into the prizes then. So there will be 3 prizes, just pretty simple, first, second, and third. We're gonna have 3 prize packs, which are basically of all the same value, but they're just mixed different kits and things like that. So basically the first place winner will get first pick, whichever prize pack they want. Second place winner will get second pick. Third place winner will receive whatever prize pack is left after the first and second place have selected. But like I said, they're all 3 of like equal value. So first off, each of the prize packs is going to include a set of USA Gundam Store nippers, as well as the brand new USA Gundam Store glass file sets. So you'll get those and some stickers in there as well. But prize pack 1 is going to include the MG-SD Freedom, the HG Gundam Beyond Global, and the SD Versal Knight. The prize pack 2 is going to include the MG-XX Gundam, the HG Hyakushiki Revive, and the SDCS Tornado Gundam. And prize pack 3 is going to include MG Char's Gelgug, HG Heavy Arms Custom, and SD Kasi Gundam. So as you guys can see in those prize packs, I tried to mix it up with some UC and non-UC, and each one includes HG, MG, and an SD kit in there. So they're all kind of pretty much equal, just different variety in each one. So hopefully the winners are able to choose something that is of most interest to them. We're also going to have additional prizes provided by SMS, the Scale Modeler Supply from Scott out there in Australia is going to supply us with some prizes for the winners as well. I'll let you guys know in a later post exactly what those are going to be, just confirming that stuff with him. Also, as far as the judges, so in terms of the judging, I've kind of talked a lot about what we're actually looking for with this. As far as who the guest judges are going to be, I will also announce that at a later time because I'm just waiting to confirm those as well. So I'll let you guys know who the guest judges are going to be. But again, what we're looking for as far as the judging goes is just your creativity is going to be the main thing, you know, how well your project, you know, fits the theme for this contest. But then of course, we're also going to be looking at your technical skills, you know, painting, construction, you know, is there going to be seam lines, nub marks? Is your paint quality good? Are the paint colors, you know, do they work well cohesively together? Do the decals that you use work with the colors that you use, et cetera, et cetera? If you build a diorama, this is always the challenge of a diorama. Diorama, in a lot of cases, you know, can really, really help your build. It can also hurt your build. If your build is really good and your diorama is kind of not so good, that can kind of weigh the whole project down a bit. So that's always the risk you have to take if you do choose to go that route. And then as I've been mentioning, presentation is also very important as well for the judges. If we can't see it, we can't judge it properly. This is not a requirement, but a strong suggestion is that when you're sending your photos of your finished build, leave it in one pose for all 10 photographs. Don't give me 10 photographs and each photograph has a different pose. Like I said, not a requirement, but I would highly, highly recommend that to you guys just because it just makes it easier for the judging and it will probably serve you guys better in the end if your kit is, you know, again, leaving it in one pose means that we can really get a good look around it, whether it's in different poses. We kind of, in this pose, we can kind of see a little bit from that side, and in this pose, we can see kind of a little bit from that side. But if you have it in one pose, 10 photographs should be more than enough for you guys to give us like a really comprehensive look around everything, every aspect of the kit, and then we can, you know, feel really confident about your kit is the best better than other ones. Anyway, guys, I think that should just about cover everything. So as I said before, if you have further questions, let me know in the comment section below. Huge thank you to SMS and to USA Gundam Store, of course, and all of you guys for all of your support for this contest. Really looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and really looking forward to just seeing how creative you guys can be with the theme for this contest, because I think it's one, like I've said before, there's going to be a lot of really obvious ideas, but it'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with for like the more creative and inspired ideas. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, but we'll see in December. For now, guys, get to work on your projects, and if you have questions, let me know. Hope you guys are excited about the contest, and that's about it for today. So stay tuned for more updates, and thank you all so much for all of your support, liking the video, commenting, subscribing if you're not yet subscribed. I really appreciate it, guys. Till next time, have a good one. Bye.